Mark Grayson. You are born normal, and that is the first lie your life tells you. You grow up in a quiet house with a loving mother and a father the world admires. He smiles easily. He gives advice that sounds wise. He tells you stories about responsibility and strength and doing the right thing. You believe him because children are built to believe their parents, and because nothing in your early life gives you reason not to. You want to be like him, not because he is powerful, but because he is respected. Because when he enters a room, people listen. Because when danger appears on the news, his name is spoken with relief. You grow up thinking that heroism is a stable thing, something solid you can step into like a uniform. Then your powers arrive late enough that you already know fear, late enough that you have already learned what it means to feel small, to get hurt, to bleed and not bounce back. When you finally lift off the ground for the first time, it feels like a miracle correcting a mistake. Like the universe finally remembered you. You think this is where your life begins. You are wrong. The moment you become strong enough to matter, you become strong enough to be hurt in ways that do not heal cleanly. Every punch you take leaves something behind. Every battle carves another line into you that no amount of invulnerability erases. Your bones may not break easily, but your certainty shatters constantly. You learn quickly that having power does not mean knowing how to use it. You rush into fights with confidence you have not earned. You trust your instincts because you have been told they will guide you. Instead, they guide you into hospitals, into wreckage, into moments where you realize too late that enthusiasm is not the same thing as preparedness. People die around you, sometimes because you were not strong enough, sometimes because you were not smart enough, sometimes because you were there at all. You apologize a lot. At first, people forgive you. You are young. You are trying. You mean well. The world likes heroes who look like they are still figuring things out. It makes them feel safe, like power can be gentle. But forgiveness thins over time. Each disaster stacks on the last, and intention stops mattering as much as outcome. You carry that weight quietly. You smile for cameras. You crack jokes in combat. You pretend the fear is excitement because that is what heroes are supposed to do. Inside, you are cataloging every mistake, every scream, every second where you hesitated when you should have acted. You go home bruised and exhausted, and your mother asks if you are okay. You say yes, because telling the truth would destroy the last normal thing you have left. Your father trains you. He pushes you harder than anyone else. He tells you pain is temporary, that limits are illusions, that survival belongs to those who refuse to stop. You take his words as gospel because they come from someone you trust completely. You do not realize that his lessons are shaping you into something you are not ready to be. When the truth finally arrives, it does not knock. It crashes through your life like a meteor. You learn that the man you admired is not what you thought, not what anyone thought. The values he preached were never meant for you to share, only to obey until you were useful. The love you felt was conditional in ways you could never have imagined. The safety you associated with him was an illusion maintained through fear and dominance. And then he breaks you. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, physically, brutally, efficiently. He teaches you the real lesson behind all his training, that your strength was never meant to protect, only to conquer. Every blow carries disappointment. Every broken bone carries judgment. You are not strong enough, not fast enough, not ruthless enough. You survive, but survival feels like failure. After that day, nothing fits the way it used to. Your body heals, but your trust does not. The sky you once loved feels heavier. The ground feels less stable. Every time you hear a sonic boom or feel the air shift, a part of you braces for betrayal. You keep fighting because stopping would mean confronting the fact that the person who defined your sense of right and wrong never shared it. You try to be better than him. That becomes your mission, your mantra, your prison. Every decision is weighed against the question of whether it makes you more like him or less. You hesitate when force is required. You doubt yourself when confidence would save lives. You overcorrect, swinging between restraint and desperation, never finding a balance that feels safe. Your relationships suffer. How could they not? You disappear without warning. You return bloodied and distant. You cannot explain what you have seen without frightening the people you care about. You cannot promise safety because you no longer believe in it yourself. Love becomes fragile. Friendship becomes strained. Normal life feels like a performance you are constantly failing. The world does not slow down for your trauma. New threats emerge, bigger ones, smarter ones, more brutal ones. Each one tests not just your strength, but your resolve. You are forced to make choices with no good outcomes, only varying degrees of damage. Save one city or another. Stop the enemy now or let them escape to prevent more destruction later. No matter what you choose, someone pays the price. You learn that heroism is not about victory, it is about loss management. Your body becomes a map of violence. Scars accumulate in places you did not know could scar. Pain becomes familiar enough that you stop reacting to it properly. You fight through injuries that should end battles because you are afraid of what happens if you fall. You have seen what fills the vacuum when you are not there. You die more than once, sometimes briefly, sometimes nearly permanently. Each time, the world pulls you back because it needs you. Each time, you return a little less certain of who you are doing this for. You start to notice how people look at you, not with admiration anymore, but with expectation. You are not a symbol of hope so much as a last line of defense. When you arrive, it means things have already gone terribly wrong. When you fail, there is no one else to blame. You grow older, but not in the way humans are meant to. Your body resists time even as your mind accumulates centuries of pain in a fraction of that span. You watch friends age at different rates, relationships stretching and snapping under the strain of your longevity. You begin to understand that outliving people is not dramatic. It is quiet and relentless and cruel. Your sense of self fractures under the weight of responsibility. Are you a hero because you choose to be, or because you are afraid not to be? Are you protecting people out of love or out of guilt for surviving when others did not? The answers change depending on the day, and none of them are comforting. You realize something else too. The stronger you become, the less room there is for mercy. Your punches can level cities, your mistakes can end civilizations. The margin for error shrinks until perfection feels like the only acceptable standard. You are still human inside, still emotional, still flawed. The world does not care. Every time you hold back, someone accuses you of weakness. Every time you go all out, someone accuses you of becoming a monster. You walk a line so thin it cuts you constantly, and no one sees the blood because they are too busy watching the spectacle. You think about stopping sometimes, about walking away, about choosing a small life where your hands are not always clenched into fists. But you know better. You know what fills the silence when protectors leave. You know how quickly peace collapses without something terrifying standing guard over it. So you stay. You fight. You bleed. You endure. You become a symbol you never asked to represent, carrying ideals that are constantly tested by a universe that seems determined to break them. You are stronger than almost everyone you meet, yet feel powerless against the slow erosion of your own certainty. That is the cruelty of being born as you. Not that you suffer, but that your suffering is necessary. That your pain is the price others pay for safety. That your life is an ongoing calculation where your happiness is always the variable sacrificed first. You are invincible in body but never in spirit. And every day you wake up knowing that the only way to prove you are not like your father is to keep fighting in a world that will never stop trying to make you exactly like him.